Good morning, everyone. Okay, if you can hear me out, if you can see me, you can put a message in the chat box. You can put a good morning, you can put a thumbs up, or you can unmute and talk to me. Yes, Manju Kiran. Good morning. Good morning, Manju Kiran. Yeah, I have a few more participants.
Manju Kiran is the sir, but he thought like he is another.
So I would request all of you to put your mic on mute mode. Yeah, Ruchita Jadhav. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Sakshi. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Moksha, Ramya. Good morning. You guys can put a good morning to me as well in the chat box. Nayana Pujari. Good morning. Shreya. Good morning. Durgashri. Shraddha Naik. Rakesh sir. Good morning, sir. Yeah. Good morning, Tanisha. Good morning, Danya. Yeah. No, that's how we are supposed to start the online session. Online sessions are not supposed to be just one way monologue for 1 hour, because then the session becomes extremely monotonous and boring. Good morning, Shivapriya, Rakshita, Lenovo. Okay, that's a nice name, Lenovo. Good morning, Lenovo. Diksha, good morning. Tanya Shetty, good morning. Yes. Yeah, Manisha P. Kirtana, good morning, Manisha. Good morning. Yeah, I see a pretty active patch, which is absolutely great. I would request all of you to be very active. Yeah, morning Samiksha, morning Swati. I would request all of you to be very active and interactive. Whenever I ask you a question, please put it in the chat box, or you can unmute and talk to me. Or you can ask me any questions. Good morning, Pratika. So our the whole idea of doing this session is to ensure that we are able to set the expectation for Infosys. I hope all of you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, you can just put a thumbs up, or you can raise your hands. Just give me some indication that you are able to see the. Yes, thank you, Kirtana. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So our whole idea is to ensure that. Thank you, Kavana. Thank you, Anamika. Our whole intention is to ensure that you are able to have the right expectation before we go for the Infosys placements, which is due for November 3rd, is what I have been told. Yeah, so I've been told that November 3rd is when you are attending the placement with Infosys, which is an absolutely great thing, right? Now, obviously, you must understand certain things about Infosys, mostly about placements. Now, my name is Ranjit Keshav. Just to introduce myself, my name is Ranjit Keshav. I am heading this company called Iskew Learning, which is based out of Kerala. We started this edtech company in 2008. We did not start off as an edtech company. We started off as an educational consultancy, helping students in their skill development to perform better in campus placement. So we started in 2008, and then we slowly transformed ourselves into an edtech company. So we work with some of the leading colleges in the country. So we have worked with IIT Bhubaneswar, helping students with their employability skills. We have worked with NIT Calicut since 2018. NIT Surathkal, we work with the MBA department there. We have done workshops at NIT Trichy. We worked with some of the colleges in Mangalore also. So one of our major client is Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management. We have been with them for 10 years, more than 10 years. This is our 11th year with them. One of our premier clients in Mangalore is also St. Joseph's Engineering College. We work with them. We have worked with Aloysius. We have worked with Mudalakata Institute, Kundapura. So we have a pretty decent credentials in Mangalore, and this is our first project with AJ Institute. All thanks to Rakesh sir and Anthony sir for giving us this opportunity. Now, I have been told that close to around 100 students will be going for the Infosys placement this year. Last year also, Infosys had done a similar placement in the Bangalore region. They had done the same even in Kerala also. Now, you need to understand that Infosys does this placement in two different verticals. One is uh, they do an exclusive campus placement for certain colleges, and they do an off-campus interview for other colleges where they don't exclusively visit. So they pool these campuses and they will conduct the placement. Am I clear in that, everyone? Is my voice coming out clear? Is my video coming out clear to all of you? Are you able to follow what I'm saying? Is my pace all right for all of you? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sweta. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So as I was saying, that Infosys does placement in two different verticals, on campus and full campus. Now, obviously, in Bangalore, Infosys visits Sahyadri and St. Joseph's Engineering College as part of their exclusive placement. So I think that is happening on November 4th. It could mostly happen in Sahyadri like last time, where St. Joseph's, close to around 250, 300 people from St. Joseph's, and Sahyadri will come together and they will exclusively attend the placement. In your case, you will be attending the placement. I've been told that it is happening in your college, but you will have more number of students coming in for the placement. So, roughly, this time Infosys is expecting around 700 plus students to come to your campus, or maybe more than that. You never know, right? More than that to come to your campus for the placement. Now, when you are competing with 700, 800 students. Obviously, you cannot just go there without any sort of preparation. Understand that. You can take the best footballer in the world. You can take somebody like Lionel Messi, and when he goes down to play a very, very important match, I don't think he will just trust his talent and skill and get up one day morning and decide that I'm going for the match. No, I don't think even he would do that. He would rather anticipate the pressure of the match, the expectation of the match, and he will probably start preparing at least 2 months prior. So he will go to his gym, he'll work out, he'll go to the ground, and he'll practice. So even with the best of the players in the world, we see that they go totally prepared to perform in the match. Unfortunately, in my experience, in my line of work where we train the students, often what I have seen is students show a lot of interest in registering for a placement. Like, for example, when you take admission in an engineering college, the first question usually the parents and the students would ask is this: will I get a job if I study in this college? Or the parents would ask this question, right? Will my son or daughter get a job if they study in this college? See, you must understand one thing, that no college anywhere in this world can guarantee placements for students. And I'm talking about the IITs, I'm talking about the NITs, I'm talking about the Harvards, right? See, the best that a college can do is give opportunity to a student. You study in that college, they can give you an opportunity, just like how each one of you is getting an opportunity to attend an interview with Infosys. Nobody, including me, nobody can guarantee an offer. So just take an example. I can offer Lionel Messi a match to play in a World Cup, but then the outcome of the match is not something that I can guarantee, right? That totally depends upon the players. That totally depends upon their skill. That totally depends upon their effort, their hard work, their teamwork, right? So in my line of work, what I have seen is students often show a lot of interest in placements. Students show a lot of interest in registering for placements, but students do not really show the same interest when it comes to preparation. And that is where I strongly believe that most of us fail. As a training company, I fail. As a student, you fail. And we don't believe in the fact that we need to go all prepared. No, we need to go prepared. Even if it is a very, very small session, I would still sit down and prepare for the session. So for example, the PPT that I'm going to run for all of you, I prepared it last night. Now I can just come here without any sort of PPT and talk to you for 2 hours. I can still do it. But then I believe in the fact that, every the outcome of every effort or every opportunity depends also on certain amount of effort that we put in. So that is the first takeaway that I want all of you to have from the session, that you are going to prepare for your placements for the next probably 10 days or so. So for example, if your placement is happening on November 3rd, and if you are somebody who is absolutely serious about Infosys placement, then my request to all you people is, take the next 10 days very, very seriously. Spend at least 1 or 2 hours, or maybe even 3 hours for the placement. You need to take a leap of faith, and you need to put in your best of the effort. Uh, uh, you know, just think about it like this. I'm going in, and I'm representing India. I'm playing against Australia. I'll have a strategy against Australia. I will try to understand what are the strength of Australia, what are the weaknesses of Australia. What should be my strategy on the ground. So I will prepare myself with a lot of plan. A lot of students, they also believe in something. Now, this is the second takeaway that I want all of you to keep it in your mind. The first takeaway is the fact that registering for a placement, expecting a placement doesn't give you a placement. Your chances of getting a placement increases when you start preparing for the placement. Preparation is the key. The amount of preparation that you do off the ground will decide your performance and the result on the ground. Understand that. The less you prepare, the less you perform. The more you prepare, the better you perform. That's how it goes. Do you agree with this, everyone? Do you agree that the more you prepare, the better you perform? Yeah, yeah. Ramya is saying yes. How about others? Swati is also saying, Manisha. Correct, correct. Kushi, everyone is saying yes. I'm really, really good. You're a superb batch. So much of response, so much of positivity in the session. Superb, superb. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. So that is one particular thing, right? So if November 3rd is the placement, the next 10 days, or next probably 1 week, try to give it your best. Try to give your everything that you can. Just go to YouTube, just go to different sites, just do everything that you can for the next 7 days, so that on third, you can go and give it your best in the placement, right? Now, the second thing is, a lot of students, they take training as a part of their preparation. They somehow feel that if we attend the training program, let it be any company, our company, Iskew Learning, or any other training company, they believe that if at all, we have to get a job, our preparation is all about attending placement training with a company. No, I mean, if you are bound to get a job attending a placement training, then all the students that I have trained in my career, all the students that Iskew Learning has ever trained, should have got a job, but that is not the case. Even in the best of the colleges where we have done training, our placement conversion percentage is only 40, 45, 50 percentage maximum. So we train around 600 students, maximum only 300 students will get the job. 300 students does not get a job. So if it was all about attending a placement training for about 5 days or 6 days or 7 days, or even 10 days or 20 days, then everybody should get a job. But that is not the case. So understand that you have paid a certain amount of fee to attend this training program, and you will be attending 6 days of training program, and still there is no guarantee that you will get a job. Attending a training does not guarantee a job. Attending a training does guarantee something else. So we are spending 12 hours with all you people, so we will be spending 2 hours from tomorrow for the next 6 days, right? Now these 12 hours should help you to go back and learn about Infosys and their pattern and how to prepare for 100 hours. You should take it like that. The 12 hours that I am spending with IceQ team will help me to prepare for 120 hours. You should take it like that, or 100 hours. Or I'm going to spend like 4 hours, 5 hours every day. That is how you should look at training, because training will help you to learn how to prepare for the interview. Training doesn't prepare you for the job. Training prepares you for how you can possibly go back and learn in terms of what needs to be done. So we will give you the idea of the pattern paper. We will take you through some orientation. We will give you some mock test, but you have to go back and start taking the mock test. Like, for example, soon after this session, your pre-assessment will start. So we have already uploaded 2 tests, which should be open by now. Soon after the session, just finish your lunch, go to a quiet place, and just start taking the test. And once you start taking the test, you will know where exactly you are, right? And then tomorrow we start with the training program. So once the training is over, so for example, 3 to 5 is the training. uh, Finish the training, go home, have a cup of tea, refresh yourself, maybe by around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and sit down, and from 7 to 10, 10:30, 3.5 hours, spend your time watching some YouTube videos related to what was being taught to you, or just go to some random website and start working out on different questions. So spend that 3.5 hours. Now, if you spend that 3 hours extra every day on your own, then that 12-hour training will become around 30, 36 hours of training. Understand that. So we are effectively doing only 12 hours of training. But if you put that extra 3 hours effort from your side, then it becomes a 30, 36 hours of training. And that is much, much, much more effective than just attending a training for, 12 hours and believing that, okay, I'm going to clear the paper just with this. No, that is not going to happen. Understand that. So my second takeaway for the session for all you people is, just by attending the training, this is not going to happen. This will happen if you attend the training, we put in our effort, if you put in our effort, and that is how it is going to happen. On training, you should spend time. Off training also, you are supposed to spend your time. That is very, very important. Did you understand what I said, everyone? Can give a thumbs up. Yeah. Yes. So that is the second thing that I wanted to tell everybody, right? And what is the third thing now? So once we start training, I have a couple of civil students here, I have a couple of mechanical students here, and you know for a fact that you're applying with an IT company, right? Obviously, some of the computer science student, EC students, you might face a certain difficulty with certain things. Don't worry about that. You do what is going your way. You do what you can understand, but put in your effort with everything that is being taught to you, and whatever you can learn, whatever you understand, whatever you are able to do it really well. I'm not saying that you must be good in everything that we are going to teach you. No, nothing like that. If you are good in everything, or if you're trying to be good in everything, I'm the most happiest person in the world. But even if you are not good in everything, you are good in at least 2 or 3 things. Try to be really good at what you're supposed to do. So, for example, we will do training in logical reasoning. We will do training in quantitative. We will do training in pseudo code. So we will do some training in puzzles, right? We will have some verbal ability papers. And if you think that, okay, pseudo code is not working for me, I mean, I'm not able to understand pseudo code, this is too much for me. Try to put in some effort. Try to go to YouTube, watch a few videos, and try to see if you can understand with the basics or whatever. Sometimes, if you feel that, no, this is not happening for me, don't lose your heart. Don't lose your heart. Just do what is working for you. Just do what is happening for you. That is the most important thing. Because even uh, companies like, Infosys does understand that somebody from a mechanical engineering batch, or somebody from a civil engineering batch, or somebody from a electronics and communication engineering batch may not have that much exposure like a computer science student. They understand that. So they will definitely give a certain leverages, but then they will also see what is your score with the other modules, right? So they will see, okay, how good this person has performed in quantitative, how good this person has performed in reasoning, how good this person has performed in verbal. For example, your verbal scores are pretty good, your quantitative scores are pretty good, and maybe your pseudocode scores are not that great. Then they will see, okay, this person is from which department, or civil or mechanical, and then they would feel, okay, it is perfectly fine. Let that whether we can give some leeway to that person. That person is not from a computer science background. So you don't necessarily need to be worried about the fact that I need to be good in everything that I do. If something doesn't is happening for you, don't worry about it. As I said, just do what you think you can be good at. That is the most important thing. And if you think you understand something, if you think you can do something, then don't just give it up. Then just don't give it up. then you have to put in a lot of effort and you have to do these things. The fourth that I wanted to tell you is, please, please, please take all the mock tests that we have given you. Don't miss any of those mock tests, because taking the test will always give you an upper hand when it comes to placement test. Understand that, because one thing is, most of our students, they are so used to taking examinations with pen and paper. Like most of our university exams happen with pen and paper, right? But then none of the placement test happens with pen and paper. And that is something that we have been very, very, serious about, something that we emphasize with our students, that during our training program also, every day we conduct online tests, and we want students to open their laptop or computer, log in and take the test, because uh, taking a pen and paper test and taking an online test are two different ball games altogether. Understand that. It is very, very difficult when you are looking at a screen, when you're sitting with a pen and paper next to it. I mean, since it is a proctored test. So what do you mean by a proctored test? An AI camera will be watching you. So you can't indulge in any malpractice. You can't be talking to your friends. You can't even be turning your head like this, because the moment you start doing all that, you will see pop-up messages on the screen, and if you repeat it for a couple of times, the system will automatically lock you out. So you can't be indulging in all that. And the next thing is, if you're not used to taking online test, what happens is you wouldn't know how to manage the time, because most of the placement tests, especially the Infosys test, it is time bound, right? So, and they don't give you a lot of time, because these placement tests are all about speed, accuracy also. That is very, very important. So your speed is important, your accuracy is important, your time management is extremely important. So sometimes, for 40 questions, they might only give you 40 minutes. So that means, one question, your maximum that you can spend is 1 minute. They are not expecting you to do all the 40 questions, but what they're trying to see is, in those 40 minutes, how many questions can you possibly complete? So if you want to get used to taking test online, if you want to improve your speed, or sometimes, uh, we might find the answer as B, but we might accidentally click C, right? That could be a problem. This is something that I have seen with many of the students. Sometimes they say that, sir, I was so stuck with one question, and all of a sudden the timer went out, and I was automatically logged out, and I was not looking at the timer. Sometimes students have come back and told me, sir, my answer was B, sir, but unfortunately I clicked C and I couldn't go back to the screen. So you have to get used to these things. See, guys, if you can attend all the mock test, if you can get used to that idea of, sitting in front of a computer and, doing an online test, let me tell you that your chances will be 30% better than how it is right now. Because in my experience, I have seen this: students who practice mock tests, students who have taken all the mock tests, are people who have got a 30% better chance compared to everybody else. Understand? And that makes a lot of difference. So my request to all you people is, please take all the mock tests according to the schedule that we have shared in the WhatsApp group. If you have any problem, any technical error, any issues, our team will always be there to support you. Any problem that you have, the only thing that we are not in a position to do is, we won't be able to extend the date and the time for the test. So if the test is valid for today, we won't be able to extend the date for tomorrow, because then it gets piled up, because every day you have the test. So if you just open the portal, whenever you are free, you will see a few tests that is active, and you are supposed to finish those tests on that particular day. So suppose we do pseudo code on that particular day, we have a pseudo code test, so that you will know how much you are able to deliver with whatever understanding and comprehension you have had during the training session. So my fourth takeaway for the session is the fact that you all of you take the mock test. In most of the colleges, students pay the money, we assign the test, but nobody takes the test. And I don't know why students are still not able to uh, understand the importance of taking the test. So my request to all you people is, you should not be missing any of the mock test starting from today till next Sunday. Are we clear on that, everyone? Yes, Pandya Varshini. Varshini. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So before we move with the PPT, what is the last thing that I want to tell all of you, right? See, guys, this is something which is very, very personal for me in my line of work. I look at education, I look at placement as a very, very powerful tool, which can change our future. Understand that somebody like me, I am a beneficiary of education. I am a beneficiary of the employment that I have found because of education. So my father is not educated, my mother is not educated, but both of them ensure that I go to a good school. Both of them ensure that I found a good graduation. So I benefited out of that opportunity in my life. Understand, I benefited out of the education and the employment that I have had. So when I started this company, of course, it is my bread and butter. I make a living out of the money that people like you pay me. So it is not just about the money, that drives somebody like me to run this business. Because when I go to a college and when I train a certain number of students, I know how their future would look like, if they find a job. So for example, somebody like Durgashri is here, Pratika is here, Veda or a Manisha, or a Kavana or a Rakshita, people who are part of this session. If you attend our training, if you take the Infosys interview and you find a job, think about how your future will change. Correct, I mean, how you will be able to join the company next year, October, November. How you will probably draw your first salary on the 30th of the first month, and how that will consistently happen every month on 30th, and how slowly you will become independent, how you will be able to manage your own expenses without depending on anyone. And after a point, how well you will be able to go back and start taking care of your parents with that money. And in the due course of time, how your quality of living, how your standard of living will slowly change over a period of time. Think about the long term. Don't think short term. In the next 6 to 7 days, it can just go like any other 6 or 7 days, in your life. But think about the long term. Whatever we are doing right now is short term. For example, why do I need to sit for 2 hours for a training session? Why do I need to take the mock test? Why do I need to spend that 3 hours in the evening every day going to YouTube, watching videos? Why do I need to do all that? I can just spend my 7 to 10 o'clock like how I have been doing for the last 3 years, 3.5 years of my life, right? You can think like that. There is nothing wrong in thinking like that. But think long term. Infosys is Infosys is not going to happen again in your life. And understand that this will probably be your first and the last chance with Infosys, because Infosys usually don't hire previous year students. For example, if they are hiring 2026 batch pass out, this will probably be your first and the last opportunity. Understand, next year they'll be hiring 2027. The subsequent year they'll be hiring 2028. So this is your first and the last chance with Infosys. So if you walk out of the campus without a job, and then you are like, okay, can I get an opportunity to attend an interview with Infosys? Can I get an opportunity to attend an interview with the TCS? You may not get it, but whatever you have been doing until yesterday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you can continue to do this forever in your life. But the next 6 to 7 days, you're not going to get it again. The next 6, 7 days becomes very, very critical, very, very significant, very, very important, is because of that one opportunity that you have on November 3rd, which is Infosys campus placement. That is what makes the next 7 days, that 7 to 10 o'clock, very, very critical for you. Now, what do you want to do in those 3 hours? How do you do it? Whether you will do it or not, that is totally up to each one of you who's part of the session right now. We are nobody really, because I can't come to each one of your houses and see what are you doing, right? I can't be doing that. That is totally up to you. That is where your ownership, comes into play. And who will take the ownership? Who will take the responsibility? Who will self motivate? Who will drive themselves? People who think long term. People who understands the seriousness of that opportunity, people who thinks long term. They are the ones, who will take the ownership, who will find the self motivation, that no, I don't have to be motivated by anyone, I don't have to be told by anyone. I am going to take the mock test. I am going to sit down and watch YouTube videos. I am going to work on maximum number of papers on different websites. I am going to give it my everything in the next 7 days from 7 to 10 o'clock, so that I go on November 3rd and deliver my best in that placement. If you want to think like that, you need to think long term. You need to think long term, because there is one thing about Infosys which I quite appreciated last year, that uh, there were so many companies who did placements and gave offer letter to the student. Most of the top companies, I'm saying, but Infosys was one company. At least in Kerala, this happened, that the offers that was given to the students. Almost 90% of the students were asked to join the company soon after they completed their engineering. Soon after their engineering, so within 3 to 4 months, all these students were able to join Infosys and they started drawing their first salary. So that is the opportunity that you have. Even otherwise, when you walk out of a campus, you have one offer letter in your hand. That makes a lot of difference, guys. It makes a lot of difference, because once you're out of the campus, who will help you to find a job? Where will you go for an interview? Who will be there to support you? So you need to have these thought processes in your mind. So think long term. Think long term. When you are part of a campus, it is very very easy to just have some good time with your friends. Just go and do nothing. Just kill your time, by sleeping or watching reels and YouTube videos. But understand that you can do this forever in your life. You can do this forever. There is no stopping to it, right? Nobody is going to stop you also. But how many times will you ever get an opportunity to attend an interview with one of the top IT companies in the world? You need to think like that. And that is where everything changes for you. Everything changes for you. So, uh, motivation doesn't take you a long way, guys. Discipline takes you a long way. Self-discipline takes you a long way. Your goal takes you a long way. Understand that. So don't find motivation in anything in life. Find your self-discipline. Find your goal. I mean, when I was in college, I was motivated by the fact that I want to become independent. I want to make money. I want to have a better quality of living. So all my decisions, all my actions in my life was connected to that. So whenever I make my friends, whenever I'm spending my time with anything, whenever I take a decision, I always think, is this actually taking me to my goal? Is this actually taking me to what I really want in life? If those friends did not help me, no, I've never been friends with them after that. If a particular action or a decision did not take me closer to my goal, I stopped doing that at that point of time. Right now, I can keep as many friends as possible. Good friends, not so good friends, who will help me to. It's fine with me. I'm 43 right now. It is okay. But then my 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, these were very critical, times for me. Very, very significant sort of an age, right? Because that time never comes back. That time never comes back, right? So you need to be very, very careful in terms of making your friends, taking those actions, taking those decisions. That does make a lot of difference at this point of time. Understand that. So think about long term. Think about long term, and the next 6 to 7 days, decide how you want to spend the next 6 to 7 days. And maybe, this is the last point, and we will get on to the PPT. Maybe we put in all this effort, and nothing works out. Maybe we are not going to clear the test, or we may not find a job with Infosys. That is okay. That is totally fine, right? I mean, who doesn't face failures? Everybody face failures. Like I recently I faced a huge setback. I'll just give you an example of your own place. So I'm sure most of you know NIT Surathkal. So when we pitched in for business at NIT Surathkal for MBA, the first year we only had around 14, 15 students. So again, traveling all the way from Kerala to Surathkal to do a week-long training for 15, 16 students, commercially, money-wise, it will never ever be profitable for us. The college asked us, what do you want to do? And I said, we will do it because we want to start associating with NIT Surathkal, and we will probably start the association, and maybe at some point of time, if there is a training culture and everything, we will definitely get the business. The next year, again, we only had less than 15 students. We incurred the loss. We still put that 1 week of effort. We did the training, and we thought, okay, the next year it will happen. The next year again, we had less than 15 students. On the third year, again we thought, okay, let us keep our association. So at an average, we were only getting 15 students for 3 years at NIT Surathkal. and we were just not able to do it, for profit. We were just not even able to break even the business there. So now this is the fourth year, and I went to NIT Surathkal. So there is a new person. So every 2 years, the HOD changes there. So this year there was a new HOD. She did not know me, and I went to meet her to tell her that, ma'am, we have been doing this for the last 3 years. And so when I went to meet her, she said that we already gave the training business to Time in Mangalore or something. Somebody. It's a 2 or 3 lakh business, and we already gave it to Time, and they are doing the business. Now, imagine how I would have felt. Did you understand what I said, everyone? Yes, no. Can you relate with what I said? Can you empathize what I said, right? Correct. Now, I did all the hard work for 3 years, right? 2022 we did, 23 we did, 24 we did, and in 25 some random company came without doing anything, and luckily they got it. Now, did I feel bad? Of course, I felt really bad. I mean, was I disappointed? Was I sad? I was really sad. I was really disappointed. But now, yeah, Sahana has put a smiley with a sweaty symbol. Correct, Sahana. But I had the sweat, but I did not have the smile. So I I'm just trying to find, yeah. So this was, I don't know if you can see the emoji, but this was my expression after I came out of the campus. So but then would that stop me from going to Surathkal NIT again and asking for work? No, it won't. It won't stop me, right? Next year again, I will do it. Or maybe I strongly spiritually believe in one thing in my life, that if I put in my effort at NIT Surathkal, I may not find the result at NIT Surathkal, but it will help me to find some other great opportunity with some other campus, right? Because see, there is one thing that I have not compromised, which is my attitude towards my work, right? My hard work, my belief system, my discipline, right? I did not compromise on that. The To give the business or not was their decision. I mean, I can't influence, or I can't play a role in that. That was their decision. My decision and my action was to put in my effort, my hard work, which I did beautifully. I did not find the result with them. I might find the result with somebody else at a different point of time. So even after putting all these efforts, some of you may not clear Infosys, but don't worry about that. Never compromise on your attitude. Never compromise on your attitude, and always believe in the fact that whatever is the task, whatever is the effort, I'll put in my best effort, and understand that that is probably going to take you a very, very long way in your life. Understand? So these are the five very, very important things that I wanted to tell everybody before we start the session, so that all of us are on the same page. You guys have the right expectation, and also you guys put in the right effort. I'm not saying that you guys wouldn't have put these things in the next 6 to 7 days, but it is always nice to have that huddle with the coach before you go for the match, right? I mean, just before the match starts, I'm sure all of you have seen that all the players will come together, the coach will be there, and they will be standing in a circle, and each one of them will be motivating uh, each other, and there will be a captain, who will go and tell the players that, hey, listen, you know what, you guys are absolutely the best. Let's go and give it the best shot. Now, you don't win or you don't lose matches because of the huddle, but that huddle is a reminder that, hey, listen, you know what, I'm good. I need to be mindful. I need to be focused. I can't be distracted, right? I mean, I can't distract myself for the next 120 minutes. I can't be distracted for the next 90 minutes. I need to be focused on the game. Whatever problems that I have in my life, I just need to keep it aside and just focus on these 90 minutes of the match, because these 90 minutes are not going to come back again in my life. So it is a reminder. So this session is that sort of a reminder for each one of you, that we are not going to get this opportunity ever again in our life. Understand that. So how do you want to look at those 120 minutes of your test and on November 3rd? So this is sort of a hurdle, just to give you sort of a heads up. Are we on the same page, everyone? Did that make sense to you? Did you have a do you have a better understanding? Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yes. So just to to continue with the session, I'm just going to take you through the orientation. So just to give you a brief glimpse of Infosys. So Infosys is probably the second biggest IT exporter in India after TCS. They are one of the leading IT and consulting companies, and they mostly hire from top engineering and management campuses, and they have been doing this for the last 3 decades. So I graduated in 2004. I did my BCA, and from those times, Infosys is like a dream company for most of the engineering and computer science graduates. So even for people like me, Infosys was like a dream company, but unfortunately, I was not really good in programming, so I couldn't clear it. But some of my friends and some of my students have done exceptionally well in that company. So if you look at how Infosys used to hire in the beginning, so for example, way back in the 2000s, Infosys just used to conduct one aptitude test, one reasoning, one quantitative, and they will have an HR interview where they will check your communication skills, and they used to hire the students, basic aptitude skills and basic communication skills. That was a sort of a trend that they had way back in 2000s, when we graduated. So the person that you see on the screen is Narayana Murthy. I'm sure most of you are familiar with him. He's from your state. Uh, so Narayana Murthy sir, along with his 7 friends, founded this company in Pune with 7 of his engineers with an initial capital of just 10,000 rupees. So post 2015, Infosys started diversifying their business into cloud computing, AI, automation, and they started adapting to new technology trends. So right now, they're one of the leading IT companies in IT and consulting, and they have clients who, in over 50 countries. Now, so if you look at the way Infosys started hiring after 2014, especially after diversifying into cloud computing, they have introduced initiatives like InfiTQ, Hack with Infi. So InfiTQ and Hack with Infi are two hiring verticals of Infosys where they hire students, engineering students in premium packages or higher end roles. Infosys NQT is where they hire bulk of the engineers who will be working at the level 1, the system engineer role, which you will be attending on November 3rd. Now, right now, Infosys has over 3.3 lakh people worldwide, and they are considered to be one of the most trusted employers. Now, right now, from 2018, Salil Parekh, he is the CEO of Infosys. The reason why I'm saying all these things to you is because if you clear uh, the written test and if you go for the final interview with TCS, you guys must definitely know a bit about the company profile and what they do and who's the CEO, who's the founder, etc., etc. These are very, very important things as part of your interview process. Now, if you look at this screen right now, now this is uh, these are the job profiles of Infosys along with their salary. So, for example, the Infosys, usually the campus placement for tier 2 and tier 3 colleges starts with system engineer test. Apart from the competition, InfiTQ and Hack with Infi, any form of campus placement for Infosys usually starts with the system engineer position, which is a mass hiring. Now, I'll tell you what is mass hiring in the coming slides. Now, the selection process is based on aptitude test. The interview focus will be mostly on quantitative, logical, and verbal. There are a couple of other parameters also, which I'll tell you in the coming slides. Now, the package is approximately 3.6 to 4 lakhs. The difficulty level of system engineer test is pretty easy. It is not as difficult as I would say TCS is much more difficult, but Infosys aptitude test is of very basic, and it is very easy. All you need to do is a bit of preparation and you should be able to do it. Now, once you clear the test and once you clear the interview, obviously they will send you a congratulatory email saying that you have been selected as a system engineer with Infosys. then they will give you this option. Would you like to attend upgraded interview? So you will get an email, from the HR asking for this. And then if you show your interest, saying that yes, I am ready to attend upgraded interviews. Now, even if you get rejected in that interview, don't worry about it, because uh, you might still be able to find, I mean, your offer with system engineer is still safe. So even if you get rejected in the future interview rounds, you don't have to be worried about that. But if you agree for the future upgraded interviews, the technical panel will consider you for DSC, which is the digital specialist engineer position, as well as the specialist programmer position. But it is mostly the DSC, where limited hiring, only very, very few people are being hired, because that is sort of a very coveted elite sort of a human resource profile that Infosys is building in the last 5 to 6 years, mostly to work in the AI cloud computing sort of advanced digital projects. You will have a coding assessment plus the technical interview, and the interview usually focuses on data structure algorithm, OOPS concepts, DBMS, and they'll be focusing a lot on your projects. Of course, it is a moderate difficulty level, but you need to be very, very strong in your DSA, and you need to have a very strong GitHub profile or a lead code profile. You need to have a very good portfolio, and the salary is around 6.25 lakhs. So, but it takes a lot of effort to reach there. Uh, Infosys, they have got this competition called Hack with Infi, where across India, the hiring is very, very limited. The designation is called specialist programmer. Again, Hack with Infi is like a coding competition where they will give you a couple of problems and they will give you 2.5 hours to finish. It is followed by a very, very tough technical interview. You need to be very good in advanced coding, and also you need to be really good in system design. The package is obviously 9.5 lakhs, and the interview is very, very, very hard. So if you think you are a computer science student, and I wouldn't recommend digital specialist engineer and specialist programmer for anyone other than students with computer science background, because it is going to be very, very difficult for others. But if you think your DSA concepts are pretty good, if you think you have a very strong GitHub profile or lead code profile, you are good in system design, I will definitely recommend that you go for the upgraded interviews. The next one is a power programmer, so which is like an internal transition. That means you're already working in Infosys, and based on your performance, they want to upgrade you. They will give you some internal transition or internal job options, where your package could be around 10 to 12. It will totally depend upon how you have been performing in your current role. Obviously, you need to have system level knowledge. You need to have very good knowledge on the products, on the fundamentals, advanced coding. The designation is called a power programmer. And then there is another program by Infosys called Springboard, where they hire students who are in the pre-final year. As part of their internship, they will hire the students, but the colleges will have to sign an MOU with Infosys. So Infosys selects very, very, very few colleges to do that. Then you are taken through a learning path, and then you do the internship, where the stipend could be anywhere from 15, 20,000 or even 30,000. And then based on your performance, Infosys will give you a pre-placement offer. That is what PPO is all about. They'll give you a pre-placement offer where your employment with Infosys is 100% confirmed. So, but understand that you should be focusing mostly on the systems engineer position right now, because that is where everything starts for Infosys, for somebody like you. And from there, you can take the journey forward. Did you have an understanding of that? Are you clear about that, everyone? Yeah. Yes. No. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. So these are the job profiles and the salary comparison for Infosys. Now, uh, so what exactly are you preparing for? So as I said, you are preparing for the system engineer position. Now, obviously, for the system engineer position, they hire students from the engineering background as well as the MCA background. Now, they hire students from any engineering stream. Understand that, because this is a tier one, a basic, not a tier one, but a basic base level sort of a hiring. It's a grade one hiring as a system engineer. So they are pretty much open to any students from any stream. But of course, students with computer science background will definitely have some sort of an advantage. But that doesn't mean that you will get hired because of that. No, you still need to show your skills. You need to still demonstrate your ability. But those computer science students will definitely have an upper hand when it comes to IT placement. But Infosys is one company who are open to taking even mechanical students. They even take civil engineering students. If you show the potential that you can learn things on the job. So they are pretty much open to it. They're one of the very, very few companies in India who are still open to hiring people outside computer science background. Now, roughly 4 to 5 lakh students register for the system engineer Infosys NQT in India. So look at the competition that you have. Now you must be thinking that I'm only competing with students from my college, AJ, or I'm competing with students from Bangalore. No, that is not the case. Because Infosys, it is a NQT test, right? It's a national qualified test. It is like any other GATE exam or any other CAT exam. So at an average, 4 to 5 lakh students usually uh, appear for these tests. Now, the, the way you should look at it. Now, I want all of you to pay close attention to what I'm saying, right? Now, look at the percentage of conversion after the return test or the screening test. It is 15 to 20%. Now, when you look at this percentage, and you might come back and tell me, Ranjit sir, uh, the percentage is very, very less, right? Only 15%. That means 75,000 students only clear the test. No, don't think like that. See, anybody can register. Correct. Anybody can register. Listen to this very carefully, everyone. Anybody can register. But how many of these students will attend a training program? How many of these students will attend a mock test? How many of these students are aware of Infosys pattern test? How many of these students will sit down and prepare for 3 hours for 7 days? How many of these students will go and watch a YouTube video on Infosys placement pattern? That is the question. That is the question, right? So don't just look at the registration number and get disheartened. Think on these lines. Out of these 4 lakh students, I'll probably say that 30% will attend the training program. Let's keep it as a higher percentage, 30. We're talking about how much? 1,20,000 students. Out of these 1,20,000 students, how many of the students will actually take this training seriously? That means even after the training is over, how many of these students will sit and prepare for 3 hours? Out of these 1,20,000 students, let me tell you, maybe 30%, let's keep it like that, or 40%, 45,000 students will prepare on, by themselves. And how many of these students will go back and watch YouTube video? How many of these students will be aware of the placement pattern? How many of these students will look at the mock test? And then now you look at the final offer, 10 to 12 percentage. That makes a lot of sense. See, so 15 to 20 percentage will be the conversion from screening test, and the final offer uh, will be for 10 to 12 percentage. Usually the number is roughly around 40 to 45,000 every year in India. Last year, the numbers were not so great, but historically, if you look at the last 5 to 6 years of Infosys placement, roughly 40 to 45, 46,000 students usually find offer letters from Infosys. So don't just look at 4 to 5 lakhs and think about, 10 to 12 percentage. Don't think like that. You need to use your logic and your common sense and think how many of these registered students will prepare. Forget about preparation also. Out of these 4 to 5 lakh students, how many of these students will actually write the test? That is a question. See, you look at our project right now with AJ. I've been told that close to around 105 students are eligible for the placement, right? Now, how many students have registered for the training? 92 have registered for the training. How many are attending the morning session right now? Ragesh sir is there. I am there. Close to around 80 students are attending the training. Look at the dip in the number. 105 is the eligible number. 92 registered for the training. 80 are attending the Zoom session right now, and this number is only bound to go low and low, because tomorrow we start the training. Maybe 60-65 people will attend the training tomorrow, right? Maybe on Tuesday, I don't know how many people will stay back. So this is the case everywhere. This is universal, right? So don't just look at the 4 or 5 lakh registration. No, think about it from. So I see. This is why I said, if you prepare, okay, listen to this line very carefully, everyone. If you prepare for the next 7 days, 2 hours of training, 3 hours on your own, take all the mock test, be aware of the pattern, be aware of the questions, take all the mock test. Be, aware of how to take online tests. You are way ahead of the competition. Because if there is something that is going to take you way ahead of the competition, it is your preparation. And if you prepare, and that is why most of these athletes, most of these sportsmen, they believe in the idea of preparation. You take somebody like a Virat Kohli, you take somebody like a Cristiano Ronaldo, they believe in preparation. Even after achieving so much of fame, money, wealth, popularity, created so much of legacy, credentials, records, they still believe in going to that gym and working out for 2 hours to keep their body fit, because they believe that that is what is going to take them ahead of the competition with everyone else. So don't just look at this 4 to 5 lakh number. Think about how many of these students will prepare, and that preparation is what is going to take you to the final offer. And with Infosys, guys, I personally believe that if you can prepare the basic, you will definitely clear the Infosys test. But the key is in preparation. The final offer could be 10 to 12 percentage, 40,000, 45,000. That is okay. But the preparation is what is going to put you into this competition. Understand that, right? So, did you understand what I said, everyone? Yeah, thank you. So, this will be your online test pattern. So technical ability, you will have 10 questions. So technical ability is not programming, but technical ability is quantitative. So you will have quantitative syllabus. Out of the 10 questions will be there. Mostly they could ask you questions from number systems, data interpretation, percentages, uh, profit loss. So there are these 7 to 8 very important topics from quantitative, from where you can expect at least 10 questions. You will only have, they say will have 35 minutes to answer, but then that can also vary year on year. Next one is logical reasoning. So Infosys is one company who gives a lot of importance to logical reasoning questions. Please understand that. So they'll give you 15 questions from, puzzles could be there, syllogisms, series, number series, data sufficiency, data, interpretation was there earlier, coding and decoding, a blood relation could be there. Blood relation is very confusing with Infosys pattern. You will have 25 minutes to, do 15 questions. I'm telling you this again. Infosys is one company who gives a lot of importance to logical reasoning and verbal ability. Understand that. The next one is verbal English. You will have around 20 questions. You will only have 20 minutes according to the pattern until last year. Reading comprehension, para jumbles, sentence correction, and vocabulary. Now, understand that it is close to impossible for us to teach you English in 2 hours or 1 hour. With verbal ability, the best thing that you can do is take as many tests as possible and practice the paper. That is the only thing which will help you. The next one is pseudocode. Now, pseudocode, you will have around 5 questions and they would only give you 10 minutes. So pseudocode is also very important for Infosys. So algorithmic logic, uh, maybe very minimal DSA, but you need to be slightly good in programming concepts. Then you will have 4 puzzles, which is of medium to difficulty level. They'll give you 10 minutes to finish the puzzle, mathematical puzzle, or it could also be logic-based puzzle. Then you will have English grammar questions, so sentence correction, spot the error. So you will have around 5 questions based on English grammar, and they would only give you 10 minutes. And until last year, they had this pattern of English writing. So in 10 minutes, you will have to write a small essay. So last year, the topics were human life on another planet, or AI, anything related to artificial intelligence. So you have to just go to ChatGPT and practice writing a few things. Write on remote work, write on cashless economy, write on AI, write things which is very relevant at this point of time. Just practice writing it on Gemini or ChatGPT and get used to it. Because they will expect you to write a minimum of 200 words. 200 words, understand? So understand, until you practice writing, you will never know where you're getting stuck, and you will never know how to start, how to conclude. So now the thing is, this is how the test pattern usually looks like for Infosys. Now, these are the important topics that you need to be well aware of. So in technical ability, you need to be aware of number systems, HCM, HCF, LCM, percentage, profit and loss, SICI, ratio proportion, TSD, time and work, mixtures and allegation, probability and permutation combination. Now, we will be sending you a YouTube video of aptitude tutorials, not from us, but from some other company, which we feel is quite okay. Uh, as I said, don't just rely only on training, because in training we won't be in a position to go into the concepts and explain everything in detail from the fundamentals, because we hardly have any time. We will be working on the previous year questions from these topics. You have to go and watch these YouTube videos and get familiarized with the concepts and the fundamentals of these topics. If you look at logical reasoning, syllogism is a very, very important topic for Infosys. You need to go and learn syllogism. Coding and decoding is important. Blood relation, direction sense, series, puzzles, data sufficiency, and statement and conclusion is a very, very important thing. And cause and effect and inequalities. So the first 6 or 7 topics is very, very important for Infosys logical reasoning, and you have to be really, really good in that. There is also data interpretation, which is the favorite of Infosys, team. Most of the time, they'll at least have 1 or 2 questions in data interpretation. Sometimes they might even have a couple of questions from picture puzzles. Now, this is verbal ability, reading comprehension. As I said earlier, para jumbles would be there, where they would have given these lines jumbled, and you need to keep that in order. Sentence connection could be there, error spotting, synonyms and antonyms, fill in the blanks, and vocabulary based. If you take our mock test paper for the next 1 week, you will be, you will get familiarized with all the topics, all the questions, and the more you take the test, you will know where exactly you are, and you can probably watch the YouTube videos and attend our training session to get used to the concepts, and you can find some guidance. So, what are we planning to do in the next 6 days starting from tomorrow? So we have a 12-hour session with you. It will be on Zoom. So we plan to spend 2 hours every day. The timing will be 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So each of the module that was mentioned earlier, it will be discussed. So tomorrow and day after, we start with pseudo code. So I want all of you to go to YouTube and watch what is pseudo code and have some basic understanding of pseudo code, and then attend the training. And once the training is over, the same day you will have a mock test. So tomorrow and day after you will have pseudocode test. Altogether, we have given you 13 mock tests, which is based on Infosys. So until Saturday, on the last day of the training, every day you have mock test. Saturday, once the training is over, there is an Infosys company pattern test, which is of around 2 hours. So which on Sunday, whenever you find time, you can just take 2 hours of your time and you can do a company pattern test, but understand that it is of 2 hours. So you need to sit and you need to concentrate without any sort of distraction. You have to keep a pen and paper with you. You can't use calculators usually for placement test. You need to be aware of that. Most of our mock tests have negative marking. These companies, sometimes they might have negative marking, sometimes they may not have negative marking. So we would never know. But in most of our mock test, we have negative marking. So you have to do a couple of things. One, you have to take the pre-assessment test today. You have to go to YouTube and watch videos on pseudocode starting from today, and from tomorrow and day after, attend the pseudocode training. Also, we will be forwarding you a YouTube tutorial on aptitude topics. I want all of you to watch those topics mentioned in the PPT, and I want you to watch the fundamentals and get the formulas and everything, recalled, which is very, very important, and start practicing as many questions as possible. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. If you have any questions, you can ask me right away. I have got 5-10 minutes extra. Uh, so I am open to questions. Otherwise, I wish all of you the very best for the training project. I hope all of you will cooperate. I hope all of you will do your level best. And I'm really, really hoping that we are able to put up a great show at Infosys Placement, and we are able to produce some fantastic numbers this time. We are in this together, everyone. So please don't forget about that. You are in this, you are in this, I am in this, everybody in this together. And your college has taken a lot of effort to get this thing done so that you guys find some great placement offers. So thank you so much, everyone. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone? You can either, thank you, Kushi. Thank you, Kavan. If you have any questions, you can ask me. You can unmute or you can put in the chat box, anything. Thank you, Rakshita. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.